Hey guys, let's talk about tonight's episode of Beauty and the Beast. And we're pretty much picking up where we left off from last week, and that is with Gabe pretending to be dead so that Sam thinks that he actually killed him in last week's episode. What Sam did was try to frame Gabe and make it look like he was Barnes and the one that's behind everything that's going on with these beasts and them trying to find the serum to create new beasts. And of course, we all know that Gabe is not that person, and that is most likely Sam is actually this Barnes guy. And they start to unravel some of that information in this week's episode. And we find out that this guy Barnes and Sam went missing on the exact same day, and that he owns a piece of property which has been continuing to get payments for. So they're trying to say that either Sam killed Barnes and has taken over his identity, or he actually is Barnes. So, you know, Sam's whole goal in this is to get revenge for his son. And I believe his son was killed because I think they tried to do experiments on him or something like that. They talked about this a bunch of episodes ago, and it seems to have escaped me. But he wants revenge, and so he's trying to recreate these beasts. And how is he doing that? Because he's finding these kids that were part of this orphanage that Gabe was once a part of, who were identified as having this genetic abilities in their body to turn into beasts if they were injected with the serum. And JT had made serum a couple episodes ago, and Sam is the one who stole it and is now trying to track down beasts. And what he was doing was he was finding people's names that were once in this orphanage, but he had no idea who they actually were. So he was injecting the person, and some people were dying. And so that is the case that pretty much Vincent and Catherine were on. They were trying to track down why these guys with the same names were being put into the hospital or dying. And so Vincent goes back to the hospital. He sees his mentor, the man who helped turn him into a doctor all those years ago. And, he basically puts on a lab coat and goes into this quarantined area, and he's trying to help the most recent person who has been injected. And of course, JT is made a serum, like an anecdote to go up against the serum that's in his system. And we're not sure if it's going to work, but of course Vincent tries it anyway, and it does. So this whole episode they spent the time trying to Sam tried to figure out who the actual Jacob person was from the orphanage so that he could inject him with the serum, turn him into a beast, so that he would then do whatever it is that he needed him to do. Now, Catherine and Vincent ended up tracking down this guy, and Catherine actually ended up shooting him and killing him, which, she totally was feeling bad about, because at the end of the day, these beasts are part human. And that's one of the things that she's constantly always used to say about Vincent, is that he's not just a beast, he's a human being. So when she actually shot him, she was having some remorse about it because she felt horrible. And so now, they're all thinking, well, phew, we got rid of that beast. Hopefully Sam won't be able to track down another one. And then by the end of the episode, he tracks down another kid from the orphanage, and he looks like he's about to do exactly the same thing, inject him with some serum, and then he's going to become a beast. And it looked like when he did this, the beast was kind of loyal to him because he was following his cues. He was following any of his demands that he was making. So at one point, Gabe, who was tired of being locked away in this sort of like this safe house, he decided he was going to go and try to help. And of course, he was tranked with a needle. And then Sam was about to stab him with the serum when Catherine and Vincent showed up and saved him. And it was like, phew, because we've already seen Gabe go through what it's like to be a beast, and we saw him come out of being a beast, and now he's a human. And it would have sucked for him to have to go back, and it really felt like he was begging for his life when Sam was about to inject him with the serum. So I kind of like that scene between the two of them. The other stuff that was going on in this episode was, of course, Vincent realizing that he is still in love with Catherine and he wants her back. And we had a great scene with him and JT talking about, what he should try to do to prove that he's not going to be somebody who chooses his B side in the future if, she actually ends up choosing him. And so he decides he's going to go cold turkey and not be a beast anymore. And of course, that doesn't work out because Catherine comes and asks him like several times to, track the beast and do all the things as a beast to try to help Gabe and help them solve this case. And so I like the line that JT said, which was, the whole saying Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like you can't expect him to be Mr. Hyde if you keep asking him to be Dr. Jekyll. So it's one of those things where you can't have it both ways. And I like that he actually said that to Catherine. It's like, make up your mind, which Vincent do you want? And, of course, JT doesn't have a very quiet mouth. So he told Catherine the truth, which was that Vincent was trying to win her over and that he wanted her back. And of course, Catherine's still trying to sing the song that she's with Gabe and that she's moved on. And it's like, honey, please, we all know that you want to be with Vincent. And they're both having these dreams about it. So at the very beginning of the episode, Vincent's having a dream about Catherine. And then by the end of the episode, Catherine's having a dream about him. And she has a dream that she kills him. She pushes him away and knocks his head on a counter. And when she went to visit her father finally in prison, he told her that Vincent is never going to be normal and that she's going to have to put them down. She's going to have to put down all the beasts, and that includes Vincent. And he said, especially Vincent. So, I think she's feeling a little bit terrified that she one day might end up killing Vincent. I mean, we already know that she's been able to shoot him. So when she has this nightmare at the end of the episode, it's sort of like, yeah. Obviously, it's in her subconscious, and who knows what's going to happen there. We didn't really get much of Tess in this episode, as usual. She was on the case, but, her and JT had a moment in last week's episode where they ended up sharing a hotel room, we assume, because they didn't really follow up on that. They just showed them awkwardly sitting beside one another at the church when they were having Gabe's fake funeral. And I thought it was really funny, that scene when Gabe's like, so how was my funeral? Who showed up? And Catherine's like, not too many people. And she's like, but there were a lot of flowers. And he's like, well, I'm the one who bought all the flowers. So it was just kind of funny that, he really has no friends and he has nobody that's mourning the loss of him. So I thought that was kind of hilarious. But yeah, other than that, it's sort of episodes are just going along. And, like I said in last week's episode, I'm not really sure when the switch happened when Vincent got back all of his memories, but he seems to remember all about when he was a doctor. He remembers all about his mentor. He remembers loving Catherine. He wants to go back to the good old days when he was just, kind of stalking her and they were happy together. And, all those memories seem to be back. I'm not exactly sure when that moment happened in the show, but it's here. So, Gabe and Catherine got into another little fight at the end of the episode because he was like, I know that Vincent is a part of your life, but at some point he's going to have to go because there's 3 of us in this relationship right now and it's can't go forwards if this is going to be a relationship that we're going to actually move forwards with, which is true. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you already knew her situation. You knew she wasn't about to get over him anytime soon. So it's just a doomed relationship. I don't even know why they're even pretending to try to move forward with it. But yeah, that was it really for this episode. Sam is in the wind, but we know that he is, in the process of turning another innocent person into a beast, and we'll see what happens when that happens and what his ultimate end goal is to be. So he obviously wants to make somebody pay, and right when Gabe was asking him who these people are, boom, in came Vincent. So we didn't really get the answer to that question. So we'll see what happens in future episodes. And yeah, I think there's only a couple more left and then the show's done for the second season. All right, guys, that's been my review. It was sort of, I didn't hate the episode. It was just good, and that's good for Beauty and the Beast. All right, guys, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.